Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's about that time again. We are starting to look at another Pokemon TCG set coming out. We have Obsidian Flames. I'm sure you guys have been seeing it all over Instagram, Reddit, whatever social media you're on. A ton of new cards have been announced. For the set. So let's kind of go over everything and summarize what we can expect. And of course, we're going to be talking about the Charizard. Everybody's talking about the Charizard. But before we get into it, let's kind of summarize things so far. So Obsidian Flames, it's going to be our third set released in English. It's releasing on August 11th. And if you guys are familiar with any of the Japanese TCG products, you're going to see that it does feature some of the Japanese EX starter decks. And also has some of the Ruler of the Black Flame set, which is going to be the next Japanese set that's coming out. So as you can see, this was the first announcement that was released on July 4th. You'll see Decidueye, Victini, Palmont. These are all EXs that were featured in Japanese starter decks. And we scroll down, we see Clefable and Melmetal, which were also in the EX decks, Koraidon, and Greedent. And honestly, Greedent's a pretty cool looking card for just a basic EX. You can see he's got a Rossberry, Pekka-Berry, and was that a Lepa-Berry? It's pretty cool. So the next somewhat related release that came out was this announcement on July 10th. So as you can see here, it's announcing this is an EX card from the Ruler of the Black Flame set. Obsidian Flames is supposed to be kind of like a mix smash of Ruler of the Black Flame and a couple other products in Japanese. If you take a look at the card art, I think this is actually pretty cool. I like that we moved away from the 5-band graphics. The artwork actually looks pretty cool, and I'm gonna bet we're gonna get a pretty crazy secret art rare. So a couple days later, we got this announcement on July 12th, and I think everything kind of got overshadowed by this bad boy right here. So this is the terrestrialized Charizard EX. So if you guys remember, this was a secret rare that was leaked a couple weeks ago. I think everybody had the same reaction when this card leaked. For it being a secret rare, it just doesn't meet the mark. And I said this in my last video about this card. I mean, what kind of effect is this? I mean, if you've played the games, I've never seen a terrestrialized Pokemon that looks like this, not once. Now, this artwork, I'll be honest, it's not what I was expecting, but I think that the card art illustrates the terrestrialized feature a little bit better than this. I mean, this is an abomination, but if you look at this, I mean, it actually kind of looks like Charizard's wings are glass. His whole body is glass. It's actually pretty cool. So with the hype of that Charizard, I think the rest of these cards kind of got overshadowed. Glimmora EX, and nothing too fancy. It's a cool Pokemon for sure. And of course, we have everybody's favorite ghost gym leader of the 9th generation, Rhyme. It'll be interesting to see if this has the same kind of waifu tax put on it or not by collectors. I mean, it's a Pokemon character and it's a female. It's highly plausible. Okay, if we scroll down, this is what the regular Charizard EX is gonna look like. I'm actually kind of a fan of this for a regular EX. It actually looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. And you can see because it's terrestrialized, it's gonna have that pretty standard snowflake kind of flake texture on top of the card. We also have an electric type Tyranitar. I'm not gonna lie, this card is actually pretty cool. I think it's neat how you have a little bit of the terrestrialized crystals approaching on the bottom left here. And of course, we SQ here he is in all his glory. Now at the time of filming this is a couple hours after this post has been released. It's in the early morning of July 14th. So this is a pretty recent announcement. So these are some of the cards that have also been revealed for Ruler of the Black Flame. I won't really comment on everything, guys, but feel free to pause as I'm scrolling down to take a look at everything. Just some basic cards. We got Capsicid's Evolution line, Toxel, Toxtricity, Glimmet. Of course, we need Glimmet because we've seen Glimmora earlier. And I'm a huge fan of the Togepi line. I think the artwork is absolutely crazy with this. Honestly, I think the artwork in most of the Scarlet and Violet sets have been top-notch, to be quite honest. Besides this. But we have Togetic and Togekiss. Revavroom. We got the Cantonian Birds. Flamigo again. Ortega and Gita. Now this is kind of the meat and potatoes. Some of these cards were leaked a couple weeks ago. Nobody knew what set this was from. You know, I've seen a couple of people actually hypothesize that the Pidgey line was from Pokemon 151, which would have been pretty cool actually. But these are the art rares and special illustration rares that have been announced so far. So as you can see, we have our favorite dolphin superhero. Man, this is actually a pretty amazing art. I can see this one going for a pretty penny. Here's Charizard looking like he's straight out of an anime. You know, it's almost like one of those sword battles. They just clash with each other. We're just looking to wait and see who falls first. Really cool illustration. If we could remove the text and stuff, I mean, this would be a wallpaper background on a desktop. We have Cleffa. Kind of looks like she's on ice, given this is a reflection of the shooting star, and there's Aurora Borealis going on, so maybe she's on some ice. I don't know. Then we have the Pidgey line. I'm a huge fan of this art style. I gotta say, Pokemon's been using a lot of these third-party artists that we haven't really seen before. We have Pidgey here, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot EX. I don't really understand the context of the signs. I'm wondering if this is like a, you know, a Route 1 kind of callback, Route 4, Route 18. I'm not really sure, but the art style is once again incredible. The Pokemon Company is just making it too hard for us as consumers. I mean, I want to have at least one copy of all of these cards in the collection because these are instant classics. But if we move on, we have a little bit of a different art style. We have the Reverum line. I'd say this is a pretty cool concept art. We have here, you know, little baby Reverum here working on the engine for the car. He's got a toolbox and some tools out. He's got a hoist. You can see the hoist crane coming down here. I don't really know what he's doing. It looks like he's, you know, pumping in some fumes into the car. I'm not really too sure, but kind of cool. Got a little Galele back here. Of course, we got Reverum EX, which is pretty cool. You can't see who's on top of the car. I'm guessing from the decals on the side of the car, it is that crazy fire chick with the wild red boots. Either way, pretty cool illustration. It almost looks like pencil crayons, kind of the way it's sketched out. You can almost see the strokes of the pen. And we see here, this is probably going to be the #1 chase card. We have Gita sitting on the stairs, flipping through a book. She's studying something. She's got her gloves off. I can already tell this is going to be huge. I think the way that they illustrated with the yellows in the background, you know, the yellow on the side of the book page, the yellow over here, the highlights in her hair, a little bit of the blue-gray. It has a really nice ambience to the card. You have one of the new members of the Elite Four sitting on her copper jaw, and looks like she's taking a nap. You know, it's interesting. I never noticed she had a key around her neck when playing the game. I don't know if maybe I'm misinterpreting the illustration, but either way, this is actually a pretty cool art. I have a feeling that some of you weird, creepy waifu collectors are going to make the price of this card soar. But that's really it, guys. Let me know what cards you guys are hyped for and what you're hoping to pull. I mean, me personally, I'm hoping for any of the Pidgey line, the Sizer art, or Cleffa. Let me know down below, guys. What are you guys hoping to pull? Leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be following up with all the new news coming up for Obsidian Flames and any of the Japanese sets coming out. So stick around, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys.